always like to prepare the lye water solution as first thing because it will take some time to cool down. So then afterwards you have time to prepare all other ingredients that you will need for the soap that you are making. Always make sure you use demineralized or distilled water, just because this type of water here does not contain any metal residues that can react bad to the lye. If you are new to soap making, you might want to maybe do the weighing out of the lye separately, so you don't risk to overcompensate. Always mix as soon as you can, so you don't have big clumps of lye remaining undissolved in your solution. Don't inhale the fumes, and then just put your lye solution aside so it can cool down in a place where it's not going to be knocked over. For the oil part of the soap, I have two hard oils, that's what I want to say. So I'm going to measure this out directly in my double boiler. So one is coconut oil, the other one is palm oil. This is how it looks, by the way. Coconut oil is lighter in color. So I'm going to put this one onto the electrical stove. And while the hard oils melt down, I'm going to prepare the rest of the oils called for in the recipe that are softer oils, which is olive oil, and then almond oil and castor oil. I wonder if you can tell the difference in consistency, how thick the castor oil is. That's it for the soft oils. So while everything is melting down and so forth, I like to take the time to prepare the fragrance, colorants and so forth. Now, there are two things that are very important for this kind of soap. First of all, this is the fragrance oil. It's an absolutely amazing fragrance oil. It's a Chanel dupe. The only problem is it is a floral and it accelerates very, very much. So what I like to do is to soap very, very cool and be prepared to move very fast. This soap is called Black Orchid, and this is how it used to look, and it's great looking and everything, but the majority of the colorant is black, and I used this black oxide here, which is a pigment, and it needs to be premixed with oil and everything, but nevertheless, and the lather is too dark, so there is always the possibility to stain your towels and so forth. Now I want to change up the colors and have the majority colored in white, which would be titanium dioxide. The water-soluble version, you have also the oil-soluble version, and this is really up to your personal preference. Some prefer the water-soluble titanium dioxide. Now, this is going to be quite difficult because the fragrance oil is accelerating the soap already, and then titanium dioxide also has the tendency to thicken up the soap batter quite a bit. Now I am debating if instead of coloring it with the water-soluble titanium dioxide mixed with water with the possibility of having glycerin rivers, I would like to see how it is if I am just adding the titanium dioxide as is to the lye water solution, since the majority of the soap is gonna be white anyways. So just that you understand what I'm planning here, right? So we are waiting for the oils to melt down and then the oil and the lye water solution to be at the same temperature so we can proceed. So I'm going to mix up the black oxide for later on. Any lightweight oil will work really. I'm using olive oil here just for ease of use. Mix it up and it's good. If you see that it is a bit too pasty, just add a little bit more of oil. This is not something that needs to be perfect. And then what you can also do, if you think that it is too clumpy, you can just go ahead and use a milk frother to really make the pigment disperse well into the oils. So this I hope you can see. Then for the fragrance, as I said, Chanel dupe, just gonna use 100 milliliters for the 5-pound mold that I'm using. Of course, if you wanna lean more towards the lightly scented, then you just use less. The hard oils are fully melted, as you can tell, so I'm gonna add them to the soft oils. I can also check the temperature and see that you have a little bit of a rough estimation. Let's say how much still. We are still at almost 70 degrees Celsius here and just 38 over here to the oils, so it's gonna take a while, you know. And I'm gonna just make the dishes from yesterday. So it's a little while later and now I'm just gonna test out if the lye water solution and the oils are at about the same temperature. So the lye water is at 25 degrees Celsius, which translates to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and the oils are at 91 Fahrenheit, or in Celsius 33 degrees, which is very good. It's rather cool. So before proceeding, I'm just going to add a little bit of sodium lactate to the lye just to make unmolding easier. And then just going to go ahead and add titanium dioxide straight into the lye water so I can mix it up before proceeding. Looks like milk. I think this should be enough. I also did prepare some Hollywood pink mica from Nurture Soap because I'm not sure, maybe I'm gonna add just a little bit of this pink inside the design just for an eye catcher. So that's the titanium dioxide. Now it's definitely time to mix our lye solution with the oils and see how the color will turn out. Ooh, looks beautiful. Okay, so let's see. Once we are blending it. Great. Alright, so I'm happy with this color. It's also going to turn a little bit lighter after saponification, so that's okay. I don't want it to be completely white. So now I'm just splitting off a little part for the black. I don't need much, just for an accent color, so to speak. And then just a tiny little bit for the pink. In goes the black. And over here the pink. So let's see how these are doing. So this is pink, looks great. And then for the black, doesn't need to be completely black. I'm happy if it's like a very dark type of gray, but it does look great. The soap is still nice and fluid and running, so that's good. So I'm going to add the fragrance oil to the white part of the soap. I'm not gonna bother to fragrance the other two parts, the colored ones, because obviously the quantity is so small, it does not make any difference. All right. So we are still nice and fluid, but this is gonna change rather quickly if I don't move really fast. So I'm going to add the majority of the soap into the 5-pound mold. I love this mold from Brambleberry. So you can see the soap is already at a quite thick trace. I'm going to just leave a little bit to decorate on top. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour a little bit of this black soap from up high so it can penetrate through this white layer, so to speak. So let's see now if I can just add a little bit of white on top of it, just to see if it gives a little variation. And then I'm gonna come with the little pink accent color, also from very up high. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I have this very thin spatula, and I'm just gonna go in and make a little kind of a swirl or a spinning motion to create a type of an orchid, if you want to call it that way. I'm going to pour the rest of the white part on top of it. And then I'm gonna leave it for 24 hours. It's the next day. So this is how the soap looks after one day. And let's see if we can unmold it from the silicone liner. This is very practical slide button here, where you can just go ahead and then remove this wooden frame, and then we check out if the silicone is releasing easily. Looks good. Looks good to me on this side. Let's check this other side here. Looks good too. So now the only thing left to do is to see how it turned out on the inside. Different type of angle than usual. I can also feel the soap is quite hard. So just gonna press down and see. Okay. Not what I was expecting, because it looks like the swirl didn't really make it very deep. But okay, I mean, why not? Yeah? just a little design on the top part of the soap, and this color here will continue to lighten over time. This is pretty. It's actually cool thinking about it. Actually, it does remind me of an orchid. You know. Second part. Just gonna go ahead and wipe down the string so that I don't drag the old soap residues through the next soap here, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I can also go ahead now and stamp immediately. And then we have one sample size bar if you want to see whether or not the stamping is gonna be crisp and nice. And here we go. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're interested in other soap making related videos, please check out the playlist here on the screen where you will find many more. I wish you a wonderful day and see you in the next video. Bye bye!